I am Supreme, and today's Astro Oracle investigation will be a part 2 of Cajairah Fraise. Now, part 1 is in the link in the description below. You will have to watch part 1 in order for you to understand part 2. Because the only thing we're going to be doing in part 2 is finding Cajairah Fraise's body, dead or alive. I'm going to let you go look at part 1. I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm going to get all those views for part 1. So I want you to go watch part 1, and then you will understand why I'm looking for her body, dead or alive. Okay? Also, we're going to be finding out in part 2 if she's dead or alive, whether her unborn child at the time, because we do know by now the child has been born. But we're going to find out in part 2 whether the child survived or not. And how we're going to do that is we're going to go back to the day that Cajairah Fraise went missing. February the 23rd, I still have the same planetary alignments in front of me of the day she was born and the day she went missing. And I will be working from those alignments also to find her body and to determine whether her unborn child at the time survived or not. So, and also the rest of what could have happened to elaborate on what happened in part 1. Which I do encourage y'all to go see first, so you will understand with clarity what's going on in part 2. You're not going to understand part 2 if you don't go watch part 1, because I'm not going to explain everything I went through in part 1, because this is a part 2. I did all of that in part 1. I will be working from the same charts though in part 2 that I did from part 1. So her unborn child at the time of February 23rd, 2023, to which she was exactly 8 months and 3/4. So pretty much 9 months, like I said in part 1. So give and take, she would have had that child within no later than 30 days. So it would have been born in Pisces season. So that is how I am going to attribute the child. The unborn child will be Pisces. And I'm going to pull a part 2 chart. Okay? So I'm going to pull a part 2 chart. Okay? Because that will give me signs of, I was actually looking at where Pisces was located at in all of these charts, but that really doesn't matter because the child was unborn. What will matter is this new chart that I'm going to pull from the cards. So this is Cajairah Fraise's child energy. I'm going to attribute that to the unborn child, because 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, definitely 8 times out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, the child would have been a Pisces. So, because pretty much from February 23rd to March 23rd is still Pisces season. Let's pull a chart right quick. Okay? Let's pull a chart from the ancestors. Those are the planets. So whatever planet I pull, it's going to fall into a house. And I am going to pull the chart of that sign that the planet is in the day Cajairah Fraise disappeared. And I'm going to pull the planet in that sign, in that house, and pull that chart and see what comes first. And locate what comes first in these other charts that have already been pulled from part one. Her birth chart, the chart of the day she went missing, and I pulled an ancestor chart. Cajairah, we want to know what happened to your body. Where is your body? And we want to know if your unborn child survived or not. Of course, I'm going to pull where her body is from the charts. But this chart is also not just where her body is, but it's going to also let us know what's going on with her unborn child. Did her unborn child survive? Or is the unborn child dead? And we still want to know if Cajairah Fraise is alive or dead. Of course, if you watch part one, you will see what came out. All right. Pluto in the fourth house. Now, Pluto is the planet of death. Okay. Pluto rules Scorpio. And the fourth house is the house of home and family. If you watch part one, you will have a good idea where this is going. So, Pluto, the day Cajairah Fraise disappeared, was in Capricorn. Capricorn is the father's energy. Let's follow. When Pluto is in Capricorn, I want to make sure I place it on the camera where you can see it correctly because I don't do reversals, so I don't want you to look at Pluto in the 10th. If it was supposed to be Pluto in the 10th, it would have came out. I always read how it comes out upright. I don't do reversals. There's only one deck that I have that I do reversals, and that is the actual Astro Oracle deck. So, I don't think I'm going to need to pull from that. I may, but I'm not sure yet. Pluto in the 4th. So when Pluto in Capricorn is in the 4th house, Libra is rising. Libra is the partner. And Capricorn is the father. So what does that tell you? If you watched part one, you will know what that tells you because you will know what Libra means in part one. And you will also know what Capricorn means, where Capricorn was in part one. So, Libra comes first. Libra is the partner. Okay? And here goes Capricorn in the 4th, where Pluto is, right? Now, the child is in the 6th house. The 6th house is that's Virgo's house. That is the house of health and wellness. That is the house of what you take care of. So why am I seeing the child being taken care of by the father? The person that she was in a relationship with. The person in a relationship with Cajairah Fraise. Because the relationship comes first. And the father in the family was pulled. So this is either her father or the child's father being taken care of in the 6th house. I don't see the child dead. I see the child being taken care of in the 6th house. Now, this is Virgo's house. Where's Virgo at? Hiding in the 12th. It's hiding. The Virgo energy of taking care of the child is hiding. They're hiding the fact that they're taking care of Cajairah Fraise's child. Now, I'm reading how it comes out. This is what I'm looking at, and you're looking at the same thing too. The 7th house is the house of relationships, partnerships, oppositions, legal agreements, obligations. We're going to find Cajairah Fraise's body. Where is your body, Cajairah Fraise? Where is the body of Cajairah Fraise, who was born January the 14th, 2001, and who disappeared February the 23rd, 2023? Where is the body of Cajairah Fraise? Here's where her body is. In the body of water, in the fourth house. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Look at this. I told you, this is the energy, this is the planet of death. This is the house of home and family. Why is her body also coming out in the home and family in a body of water? Why? Because that is where her body is. Energy does not lie. Energy does not lie. The child, I believe, and I see, is being taken care of. But Cajairah Fraise, I don't think she's alive. If you look in her birth chart, look where the child is in her birth chart. In the fourth house of home and family. This is why her family is not speaking as much as they should. Those stories are not adding up. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. Like this video, share it, comment, subscribe. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows Cajairah's family. Make sure this reading reaches somebody that will say something. You can't make this up. In the fourth house of the day she went missing, you see Leo. Leo is the child, period. Whether we know the child's sign or not, Leo is the energy I always attribute to children because Leo is the energy of children. It is the status. If I don't know a person's sign, I follow their status. If you tell me that this is a child missing, I'm going to look at where Leo is until I find out what their actual sign is. And Leo is going to talk to me because this is my craft and my craft obeys me. All of the decks that I've created is my spiritual technological device. They're like cell phones that I tune into the etheric realm. I shuffle them. The energy does the work. The energy is going to always manipulate this deck and put all the cards in line as my energy touches them. The more I shuffle them, it's telling the story. Energy does the work. So when I pull the card, I'm pulling the energy. And energy does not lie. So Leo is the child. The reason why I have a good idea, probably the best idea that the child is an actual Pisces is because she was 8 3/4 months pregnant. She was just about full term. So definitely 8 times out of 10. But 9 times out of 10, the child is a Pisces because it was February 23rd when she went missing. That's the beginning of Pisces season, pretty much. That's the first week of Pisces season. So she would have had the child within the following 30 days, no later than the next 30 days. And I believe, go watch part one. I'm not going to tell you, but you know what I'm about to say. Go watch part one, and you will see why this is the child, and you will see the child's energy both in the fourth house, the day she was born, and the day she disappeared. Right? Now, in the oracle chart that I pulled in part one, in the fourth house, you'll see Sagittarius. That is Cajairah's birth chart energy. See, Sagittarius comes first. That's her ascendant in the birth chart. So everything leads to the fourth house, her family. Her family knows more than what they're telling and what they are exposing. And in the fourth house of today's chart that I pulled, locating her body and the child, the father came out in the fourth house, along with her body in a body of water. The child came out in the sixth house of health and wellness and being taken care of. This is the workforce. This is the energy of daily routine and how you take care of your daily routine, how you take care of anything. Virgo energy. So the child is in the house of being taken care of. If the child is dead, which I don't believe, then the child died and Cajairah died giving birth. Just go watch part one, too. And all of this will make sense. All of that will make sense. And that's going to be my part two on Cajairah Fraise. That's simple. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my investigations. Y'all be blessed.